What is going on, everybody? It is Wednesday, April 15th, and we have a full slate. Plus, we have a preview. We do have some golf this weekend coming up, so we want to look at that as well. Overall, last night, tough night. Tough night on the MLB Diamond. NBA was good, NHL was good, but overall, we did go down because I don't know if I've ever had such a bad night in the MLB, so that was tough. But let's dive in. Starting with the NBA, we had two play-in games. The Hornets did get the job done in overtime, and then the Jazz they fell apart. So Melo did get 30 points, which we needed, but the Jazz did not cover their spread. So unfortunate there. We did go up zero point 0.3 units, bringing our season total to -5. Obviously working in the other direction. It's the play-in now, so a little bit easier to read. Hopefully we can turn that into green before the season ends. So that's what we're looking at. And to do that, we need Steph Curry over 26.5 points. He's taking on the Clippers tonight. And then the 76ers need them to cover. They got a 2.5 point spread. They're going up against the Magic. So looking for those two best bets for tonight on the NBA court. Next, let's head over to the Diamond. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. 0-4. Just brutal. Brutal on the Diamond. You could probably throw a dart if you printed out bets and kind of win more than I did last night. I don't understand. You kind of unfortunate, but Stanton, 4 at-bats, no bases, no hits, no nothing. Padres Mariners, they scored 4 in the first 5. We needed them to stay under 4. We needed the under 3.5, so unfortunate there. Nationals, they scored half their runs in the first inning, so obviously we lost the no-run first inning. And then Aaron Nola got absolutely blown up. So there wasn't really much going for him, unfortunately, last night. Down 4 units, brings our season total down 6. So we were right around even until then, but yeah, that's going to be a hard one to kind of climb back from. But to do it, we got to get these best bets going tonight. Yankees cover 1.5 point spread against the Angels. 1.5 run spread. I mean, depending on how you want to look at it. But going up against the Angels, we just need them to win by 2. That's what we're looking for. Dylan Cease of the Blue Jays over 6.5 strikeouts. He's taking on the Brewers. I could see this game certainly being a defensive battle. It's going to be pitcher versus pitcher. At least through the first 5, I would take unders on this game. And even, I mean, their bullpens still aren't that bad. They do have good offenses, but I just think they got 2 absolute studs on the mound, and I think this is going to be a high-end pitcher's game. So that's what we're looking at. Taking Cease over 6.5 strikeouts. Next, we got under 1.5 bases for Nick Kurtz. He's on the Athletics, and they're taking on the Rangers tonight. He's only got 12 bases on the year, so basically he's averaging about 1 a game. Certainly think hitting the under here is a play. Taking, we struggle with the on bases, so what I'm thinking is if I think they're gonna hit it and I want to take the over, I'll take the under. So that way we can make that up. Like Stanton last night. If I think he was going to hit the bases, I should have took the under. We would have been good. So that's kind of my mindset on the bases. We've just been struggling with the hitting props. So if I think they're going to do well, we're going to take the under. That's just how that's going to work. And then Blue Jays and Brewers. Staying with that game, as I said, it's going to be a pitcher's game. I think they're going to be the no-run first inning. Currently, we're 1-3 on the Nerfies, but hopefully we can turn that around, bring that 2-3, and start working in the other direction and get that going. All right, we got some action on the NHL ice. Recap, 2-1 night. The Kings, they got beat, so we didn't get that one, but we did get the over 6.5 for the Jets Mammoth. Again, the Mammoths are involved, hit the over. And the Wild were able to pull out a win there, so we went up 1 full unit, and on the season we are up 6.23 on the NHL, so looking very good there. Now hoping to increase that odds, increase to the green. We got the Red Wings, 3-way money line. So we want them to win in regulation. So a tie is an option here, but we want them to just outright win in regulation. They're taking on the Panthers tonight. And then we have the Senators. Want them to cover 1.5 goals going against the Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs certainly been struggling as of late out of the playoffs, so I don't think there's really too much for them to play for. And then we got the Stars Sabres. We're taking the under 6.5 goals. I think a pretty defensive battle. These two teams are kind of know where they stand. They know they're in the playoffs. Not really much to gain from winning. Could certainly see, they're just kind of out there. Maybe not really a defensive gem, but not really an overly excited offense either. So I'm taking the under 6.5 total runs for the Stars Sabres game. All right, we do have some golf this weekend. As I mentioned, we have the RBC Heritage. So we're going into that, taking a look there. Now we're going to do Fitzpatrick top 10. So having him come in the top 10. He looked decent in the Augusta, but this is certainly much better course, much better positioning for him, a little bit less of a field to play against. So I think him going in the top 10 is certainly doable. Same thing with JJ Spawn. Didn't look great at Augusta for JJ, unfortunately, but I do think he's going to, there's a little bit less of a field, not as a dynamic, not as much attention on this course. I think he's going to be able to kind of come out top 20, be able to handle that business there. And then a little bit of a unique bet here. We have Alexander Schauffele, and we're taking him as the outright winner, excluding Scotty Scheffler. Now, I would say Scheffler would win, but it's kind of tough to say. He came in second in Augusta. Is he able to kind of turn around and put on another spectacular performance this weekend? With that short gap, I'm sure he probably stayed at Augusta a couple days, being a Green Jacket winner himself. I'm sure he probably, has a little bit of recovering to do. So I don't know if he's really going to be able to put on a spectacular performance and win this. Could he? Certainly. It's Scotty Scheffler. But I think if we exclude Scheffler, I think Xander's kind of the bet here. Outright winner without Scheffler. It takes off about 200 odds. So it goes from plus 1450 if you bet him outright with Scheffler in the field. But if we exclude Scheffler, it's plus 1250. I'm just talking DraftKings. That's mostly where I do look at things. So might be a little bit different in your sports book, but again, not a huge odds difference for him to do that. So we're going to take Alexander Schauffele, outright winner without Scheffler in the field. Those are our best bets for Wednesday, April 15th. And let me know if you guys are telling in the comments what you're swapping out, what you like, what you don't like, and I will see you tomorrow.